morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. This live stream is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 120 people in 12 different countries, and you are welcome to watch as I heal. And I will be explaining what I'm doing as I do it, so you could use it as an all levels healing walkthrough and heal yourself as you watch. And I will have a somewhat brief introduction discussion right now, and then there's the healing, which will be the bulk of this live stream, and then there will be a brief little Q&A comment period just on comments about the healing and the theme. This is the third of this set of 3 healings called a triplet set, and it's the December 2022 triplet set, and they all have the same theme of non-resistant, what's like a 3-part theme kind of. Non-resistance, surfing energy shifts, and letting angels help you more and more and more. So there's that. Thank you very much. I am getting some confirmations. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Thank you so much. That's super helpful. And I've said it before, but not that often. If I ever don't do a live stream at all, but I'm supposed to, and it's on my website that I should, probably, I mean, maybe I forgot, but that's not very likely. It's probably that we don't have electricity, and therefore we don't have internet, and therefore I can't live stream. But I would still do the healing, and then as soon as I have electricity, I would email the people that got the healing a brief summary of what I did. Not as in-depth of a summary as usual, probably, but the healing would still go on. The healing would go on! All right, so, yay, I can see and hear you. Hey, Janet from Las Vegas, can see and hear you. 54 degrees, cold for us, yes. Cold for you. I would, 54 in December, that would be amazing for us. Hey, Janet, can see and hear you in San Francisco, 51 degrees. You too, wow, 51 and sunny with a little mist. Doesn't that sound heavenly? Hi, Janet, can see and hear you. Well, hello to you. All right, so I have a lot to preview, interesting stuff. As always, I definitely appreciate your survey feedback. The people that, oh, and of course, if you're not one of the 130 people that I'm healing, I hope I said 130 and not 120. If you're not able, there you go. If you're not one of the 130 people that I'm healing, you're still welcome to watch and heal yourself as you watch. But the people that I'm healing, I email them a post-healing survey, a little quick online survey they can take to let me know how they're doing after the healing, the day after the healing. And they're always really helpful. I use them as a reading aid just to see results and plan the next healing. What we're doing today, we're definitely working on chakra filaments. That's easy. We do that a lot. But I just saw that it was pretty necessary. So chakra filaments are just the good cords, your cords between your major 7 body chakras along your physical spine and your major 7 astral chakras along your astral body spine. So it's like from the physical 7th to your astral 7th, there's a good cord there. That's, I call your chakra filament, your 7th chakra filament. And so we're going to heal it and unblock it. And, all 7, 6, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, all your chakra filaments. The bigger things we're going to do, we're going to repeat 2 out of the 3 main things we did in the Sunday healing, the second healing of 3. That healing had 3 main aspects to it. It was pretty easy to sort of sum it up. It was like clearing family burdens, and then clearing lots of different fears, a festival of fear clearing. So many fears we cleared. It was awesome. And also DEBs, we cleared deep energy blocks so that you would be more likely to be able to take angel suggested baby steps forward, like angel suggested next steps forward. Because, baby steps are approachable, right? Inherently, that's why they're called baby steps. They're like, it's just, they're smaller steps that you could do. And so they're small enough so you can do them, right? But turns out you could even be stuck about even doing your baby steps. So if you find yourself completely not making progress on an issue, that's what's going on. Unless your energy is just completely screwed, like you haven't done any of your major repairs yet. The 4 essentials that we're definitely going to do, of course, today. We always do them. Grounding, aura repair, creative ring repair, chakra repair. Those are your 4 essentials. So assuming you've done those and then you still can't move forward on a certain project, then what that means is that even the baby steps that your angels are suggesting to move forward on that project are too triggering. So you're like, you can't even take the first baby step. And so that's what we worked on 2 days ago, and we're going to do that again. Just because personally, I found that really, and I think in surveys I saw too, it yielded really good results. I mean, we've been working these, I call them stepping stones, these angel suggested baby next steps. And it just makes it easier because you can imagine actual little stepping stones and see, can the little mini you that you're imagining step on the first stepping stone and then the second one and then the third one. And maybe you can go on the first and the second but not the third, or maybe you can't even go on the first one. And so in the first healing, we cleared energy blocks, preventing that, a different type. We just sort of imagined it differently. But then, yes, 2 days ago, we just cleared DEBs that were in the way of you doing the stepping stones. And I think that for some reason was maybe more effective. We just cleared any DEBs in the way of you stepping on these stepping stones, acting on the angel suggested advice. And you don't have to consciously hear your angels to do that. You'll just find yourself doing some project that you've been avoiding for like 100 years. And that's listening to your angels on a subconscious level. So yes, it's fun to be able to hear your angels consciously, but it's not required in order to, have your momentum and get stuff done and move forward. As long as you're listening to them subconsciously, and then you're not too triggered by what they're suggesting. See, that's what we're working on is clearing your triggers, your energy blocks and your DEBs, your deeply repressed energy blocks that are triggered by what your angels are suggesting. Because if you can clear the triggers, then you could do what they're suggesting, and like I said, you don't really need to hear their words consciously. You'll just like feel this need to, you'll just subconsciously decide, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then you're doing it. So we're going to do both of those. We're going to do clearing family burdens quickly, but we'll do it again. And I explained family burdens and what they were a lot in the healing 2 days ago. So I'm going to be pretty brief about it this time. You can listen to that. I'll link below later, healing 2 of 3, where we did clearing family burdens, and I explained in the intro, and then before we did it, I explained it again. It's essentially junk that is hereditary from your genetic family in this life. It could be, if you were raised by a foster mom, you could have gotten junk from her genetic family too. But it's family in this life. Junk that has been handed down for generations. Which is ridiculous. It's totally not the good stuff. It's like, a block around the left ankle. So, your dad and your dad's dad had that, and your dad's dad had that, and, maybe he was the first one to have it, but then he started this awful tradition, dumping that on his kids on a subconscious level, so. But anyway, so we cleared a bunch of those. So I think that combo of clearing family burdens and then clearing DEBs so you can do the stepping stones, I think that was like a real power duo there. The clearing fears that we did was also good, but I think that the DEBs, clearing the DEBs so you can do the stepping stones and clearing family burdens was like even cooler. So we're going to repeat those two for sure. But some other things that I noticed that hopefully we'll have time for. Single mom baggage. So being a single mom is very challenging. Being a mom is challenging, even if you have like a really good, you know, what you perceive as a good supportive marriage. Being a mom is very challenging, or a dad is very challenging. But being a single mom, being a single dad is very challenging too, but it just doesn't happen that often. I mean, I guess every time there's a single mom, there's a single dad. Not really, because a lot of times the dads just like sort of dance off into the horizon. So they don't really go through the single dad thing. But it's possible, if they don't dance off into the horizon, then they have a single dad experience, you know. But anyway, so we're going to clear single parent baggage. How about that? Single parent baggage. Because a bunch of my clients are actually single moms, first of all, in this life, currently, at this time. But then also, we've all had past lives where we were single moms, and we probably will have future lives where we are single moms. And so it'd be really great if you got that giant backlog of old single mom baggage or single dad baggage out of the way. So then next time it's not so darn hard. I mean, it's challenging, but not as much. The whole single parent thing, it's very like sort of primal. There's a lot of, it's very deep. I mean, not only because you've had past lives where you were, you know, without a partner and you had kids to protect and mentor and raise and feed. But it's just like there's this, it's just I don't know, it gets very hormonal about, you know, like having enough, well, you know, because kids, they just don't communicate with a parent in the same way that another adult would. And so it can be extra isolating, or it can feel extra isolating if you're communicating with your kids more than you are a fellow adult. Anyway, so it's not easy, and it's going to be good to clear that baggage, to get it out of the way, because we've all been there in the past, and some of us are there right now. So we're going to clear single parent baggage, any of it from this and past lives that you're ready to clear right now. And we're going to clear baggage about disappointing people. We cleared fear about disappointing others as part of our fear clearing festival that we did 2 days ago. I can't say that phrase without laughing. It's funny. Fear clearing festival. But it's a bigger thing than, like, I think it would be really good to do more on that, disappointing people and the baggage about disappointing people. Particularly, we're going to do disappointing mom or disappointing dad or disappointing your siblings, because a lot of times, I mean, you know, you start out life with some form of family figures. Even if you were an orphan in an orphanage, you still have like authority figures and stuff. So like early childhood authority figures typically for most people are mom and dad, but it could be mom and grandma, or, you know, whatever. But early childhood stuff tends to kind of stick with you a lot, you know, formative years and all. So we're gonna clear baggage from this and past lives that you have about disappointing mom or disappointing dad or disappointing your siblings. Disappointing other people, that's important too, but it tends to be that, like, for example, well, yeah, it's just, that's what we're going to clear. And I think it's going to help a lot. I think it's going to help people just to save energy and not be so triggered. Because I think people do have, like, unfortunately, they have expectations and hopes and dreams and whatever about a certain person and how they're going to act. And so if you don't act that way, then they're disappointed with you because they have these hopes and expectations, and the way you are isn't the way their hopes and expectations say you should be. So rather than just being like, I have unrealistic hopes and expectations for that person, they get stuck in disappointment, and then they tend to dump that disappointment on you. Like, I'm disappointed with you, like on a spirit level. So this way, you can't really stop them from dumping disappointment energy. I mean, you could get them healings or, like remind them telepathically with your, mind to just help them to let their angels help them. But, you may have parents or siblings that are just a lot younger than you spiritually, and so their potential for clearing, their desire to clear might be way lower than yours. So they may send you that sort of dumpy, disappointed energy long term, in which case, it's really good for you to just clear your triggers so that you don't have baggage about it. So that you're like, yeah, I can see that you're disappointed. Too bad you don't want to clear those expectations. So anyway, yeah. So I think that'll be good to clear baggage about disappointing mom and dad and siblings and others. Also, I think trust issue baggage is a good one that we'll probably have time for today too. We'll see. It's on the maybe list, but trust issue baggage. Sometimes people are single for longer than they need to be, than they personally need to be, because they have trust issue baggage. And so they're kind of, blocking themselves from manifesting the partner that would be compatible with them because they don't believe that's possible, due to trust issue baggage. I mean, it's not that everyone in the world is trustworthy and blah, 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 and, peace, love, joy, trust everyone. But there's baggage that you may have, consciously or subconsciously, that makes you distrust no matter what, without logic and without wisdom behind it, just because you have baggage. So that, that's not helpful. So if you clear your trust issue baggage, then you can, have better access to your wisdom and your intuition and your knowledge, and, hear angels better about individual specific situations and people. So hopefully we'll have time for that. And then I noticed too, also on the maybe list, has to do with transforming emotions and fear and grief into something more enjoyable for you. I noticed this in a survey. Somebody said they had a tsunami of grief blocks that they were feeling. And the interesting thing is, when I looked at that person, they didn't really have a lot of grief. I mean, that may have been what they felt consciously, but actually it was sort of a cover for a ton of anger. And they didn't want to feel the anger. And so they were feeling what they, like, it was more socially acceptable for them to feel the grief, which they had, like, 10% grief, but then they had 90% anger that was like under there. And they were like, ma, I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. Because it was like they were really angry at their dad, not at, and like that was taboo. Sometimes you can be angry in a way that you feel is taboo. And so you block it out, and likewise, sometimes you can have grief that is just stuck there. It's not going anywhere, and you're done with it, but it's not leaving, you know, it just gets stuck. You can have sadness like that. You can have fear like that. So we're going to work on, to the extent that's healthy and gentle, we're going to find amounts of anger or sadness or grief or fear that you're ready to heal and transform and update into just regular energy to, you know, get through your day and you know, do a hobby and, you know, be productive, or rest or whatever, you know. So it's sort of like reclaiming and transforming energy. Because sometimes you have too much of it, you know, like that client had too much anger. She didn't want to feel the anger, so she was kind of like, you know, it was very disorienting because she had so much of it, you know, because it was triggered, but she didn't want to have it. So she was like, Mom, that's not happening. You know. So if we can, you know, transform some of that energy that you're not cool with, you know, so that it's just regular energy. Because, I mean, anger is a natural emotion, you know, sadness is a natural emotion, but, you know, sometimes it's just sort of the purpose of it is done and it's still there. Or it's, you know, it's excessive because you got stuck in it. So, so that's the idea. We're going to clear that sort of, these excessive, in the way kind of amounts of energy that you may have. And they could be subconscious, of course. All right, so obviously that's a ton. So we'll see how much of it we do. I'm hopeful. It'll be a good healing no matter what. I know that. I mean, because all this stuff is really cool. Okay. Should I get any more hellos? Happy to watch live tonight. Well, I'm glad you're watching too. Can see and hear you. Sunny and 48 degrees in Lakewood, Colorado. Well, that sounds nice. 48 degrees. I would take that. Yeah, it's cloudy and I don't know how much it is here. It might be 40. I mean, it is kind of, it's not that cold right now, I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, I'm right. Roughly. Or at noon it's going to be 40. In 50 minutes it's going to be 40. But yeah, we're going to have rain on and off, cloudiness. It's pretty typical for this time of year. I'm happy if we get, you know, as long as it's not like super cold. I have my sunlight lamp on me. I always recommend those if you're in a place that's not sunny during certain times of year, like here. Light therapy lamps, they're not expensive. You can just look them up on Amazon and get one if you want. I totally recommend them. They work. Trick your brain, make you feel like you've been out in the sun. Like, not exactly the same way, but if you use them over time, you realize, like, yeah, like you don't have that cabin fever kind of feeling if you use a light therapy lamp. So, it's very cool. Okay. I have to put out my sheets of where I have the names of the people I'm healing, so that helps me to read everybody's energy as I'm working. Somebody in their survey said that they thought that on a spirit level there's no time and space or something like that. So like, why can't they just instantly be healed as opposed to like taking time to do this stuff? I that's not how I perceive spirit. Like in that there's no time. Um, the way I perceive it is that you can do things faster on a spirit level, but there's still there's still doing things, you know. So you could. That's why I talk about auto freestyling, stuff like that. Work to have your process be more effortless, faster. Non-resistance helps with that. Actually, when you have non-resistance, if you work non-resistance as part of your meditation, then you tend to clear a lot more in a shorter amount of time. Like that's why we're doing the. I try to get to the underlying issues. That's why we're doing the single mom stuff and the transforming, emotion and fear that you don't want anymore, and the baggage about disappointing parent figures. I'm trying to get to those underlying things that people resist, basically. And because when you clear those, then it's like all sorts of blocks clear all at once, and it's just not so complicated. But yeah, I don't perceive spirit stuff as having no time at all. Like on the astral, you can do more on the astral than you can in your waking day, but there's still a process of doing it and a time period to fit it in too. So yeah, I don't know. Don't know if that helps anybody, but that's that. Angels told me to talk about it, so I did. Okay, so now we'll have the 3 minutes of quiet time where I am not talking, which I enjoy, and I hope you enjoy as well. And then I will be finishing my prep during those 3 minutes and saying hi telepathically to the 130 people that I'm about to heal so that they're aware on a spirit level that the healing is about to start. And then during that 3 minutes towards the end, I'll go like that as I'm starting the healing. And then about a minute into that, I'll start talking, and the out loud walkthrough starts then. All right. So thank you for your patience with my 3 minutes or so of quiet time. Okay, thanks for waiting. So first we're gonna do the 4 essentials, of course: grounding, aura repair, creative ring repair, chakra repair. You can use your hands to heal yourself, and a copy out in front of you of what you're healing. You create the copy with your intention. So you just create a copy of your 17 auras. Your physical body and your astral body are inside your 17 auras, and your 2 groundings. So 17 auras, your physical body, astral body, and 15 Wei Qi auras. Wei Qi auras. And it's a traditional Chinese medicine concept. Wei Qi helps with strong boundaries. It is your strong boundaries energy. So anyway, you imagine a copy out in front of you. You don't have to see energy to do this. You just imagine with your thought, your intention. Your 17 auras, your physical body, your astral body, both of those are inside there. And your groundings, your physical body grounding and your astral body grounding, are connecting you to the core of the earth, right? So you have that, and then you're healing using gold light from your hand chakras, big energy center in the palm of each hand, and fingertip chakras, 1 in each fingertip. Chakras are generate energy naturally. Without you, even if you didn't know you had chakras, they're still generating energy. And so they spin and they generate energy. And you set them with your intention if you want to be a metallic gold color. And that way they're generating energy at that metallic gold color. Just these to generate metallic gold light to use when you're healing. So you just comb through all your energy system with the gold light that you're generating. So let's do grounding. So just recreate your grounding, make it as wide as your whole aura. So as wide as the heel of the palm of your hand if you want when you stretch out your arms, and all the way down to the core of the earth. And there are 3 colors that I would suggest that you pick from for your grounding color: red or orange or yellow, because those vibrations are nice for your lower chakras, so it's easier for you to be more fully present if your grounding is red or orange or yellow. And then you make a copy, of course, of your 2 groundings out in front of you. You don't have to have everything like in your copy at one time. You know, sometimes yes, but sometimes it could just be your grounding that you're looking at out in front of you. But anyway, just comb through your grounding out in front of you with the gold light. And we're going to unblock your grounding by imagining the energy blocks that are already in your grounding and melting them with gold light from your hands. Oftentimes, your grounding gets blocked in the back or right in the core center part of it, like straight down from your body, or the whole back of it. So I mean, of course, everybody's different. Sometimes people block up on one side versus the other. If you find yourself like crossing your legs a lot, or leaning over to one side a lot, or bending forward a lot, a lot of times your grounding is blocked, and you're kind of, trying to compensate by weird body positions. So just imagine energy blocks in your grounding and melt them with the gold light from your hands. So that's creating your grounding and unblocking it. So now we'll do indie grounding. which is related to that. You check out the sides, especially of your grounding, all the way down, both groundings, and you use gold light from your hands to melt away any connections between your grounding and other people's groundings. Because that tends to block up both groundings, and like you're sending your junk rather than sending it down to the core of the earth, you're kind of sending it to them, and they're sending part of it to you, and so everybody gets like everybody's worse off. Sometimes, you know, a parent, if their kids are driving them nuts, it could be that, you know, your grounding and their grounding got joined, and so that's part of how you drive each other crazy. So just go ahead and melt everybody out of your grounding. So there's no connections. It's better if your kids or anybody you know has their own grounding, including your pets. I used to have first chakra cords between me and my pets, and then I got these crazy pets that I have now, and I realized, like, you know what? They're already kind of nutty. They don't need my first chakra energy complicating it even more. Like, it's different between pets. They're not, I mean, you know, people think they're your kids, but obviously they're not, and they're not. Your first chakra energy isn't going to help them. So anyway, so indie grounding, you just melt everybody out of your grounding, especially the sides. That just melt all those connections away. And if you have any hard objects stuck there, you melt those away too. All right, good job. So that's indie grounding. So then next we will do aura repair of your 17 auras. So you imagine all your auras out in front of you. As I said, physical body, astral body, and 15 Wei Qi auras. That's how you have 17. And you can repair them all at once, so you don't have to worry that there are 17. So first you could just comb through them and try to get an intuitive or visual sense of how many rips there are in different places. You know, is it especially ripped up top? Is it especially ripped up by your stomach area? Or by the back of your head? And that's just to, you know, build your intuition. The more you practice, the better you get. So then let's use composite copy technique, because that's a time-efficient way to repair them all at once. So you imagine one rip that represents all the rips in your 17 auras that are healthy and gentle to repair right now. So imagine that, your composite copy rip, and just clean it out with gold light. And then we're going to use sticky gold wax, because that's a method where you don't have to see to be thorough. So it's you generating gold light with your hands, but then it forms a hard wax and sticks to what's not you, everything that's not you in the rip. So it becomes one big chunk of junk. So you just lift out the junk and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And one more time, fill up your composite copy rip with sticky gold wax. So it forms one big chunk, and lift that out and give it to your angels. And then now use more gold light, and now the rip is really clean, so it should repair properly with the gold light. And just kind of grow back. And you may have like a couple rips that didn't repair, even though all the rest did. So just in case, we're going to make one more composite copy rip of the leftover rips that you have, and then do the exact same process. So you have your composite copy rip of your leftover rips, and just use sticky gold wax to get rid of all the junk. Give it to your angels. Just say, angels, here you go. And again, sticky gold wax, fill up the rip and get rid of the junk. Angels, here you go. Hand it to your angels. And use gold light to repair the rip. All right, so then bruising or scarring are like leftover hard patches of of junk, your resistance and other people's energy, left over from getting energy thrown at you. You know, first you get the rip, of course, but then you can also get some bruising, some hard crustiness. And so we just repaired the rips, but you may still have that hard crustiness. So just put all that out in a big pile out in front of you. Copies of all your aura bruising and aura scarring, and just melt it with gold light. So, and just keep putting more piles out there in case, you know, there's still some left of aura bruising and scarring. And if you have any left over, just say, angels, help me heal this. And then let's do sticky gold wax through your everything. So all your, especially the outer surfaces, because you could have hard objects thrown at you that are stuck there. So sticky gold wax all the outer surface of the 17 auras and the 2 groundings. And then all inside there, sticky gold wax the whole thing. Have it stick to any hard objects, any invasive beings, any invasive people, any cords, any energy blocks that you're ready to get rid of. And just move all that out at once. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. A couple deep breaths into your major joints of your body. All right, one more time. Sticky gold wax, the outer surfaces of your auras and your groundings, and then inside everywhere, sticky gold wax. Get rid of anything you're ready to get rid of, including cords, hard objects, beings, people, energy blocks. And move it out all at once. Angels, here you go. A couple deep breaths into all your major joints and your toes and your fingers. All right, and then we'll just finish up the aura repair, because when you remove the hard objects, sometimes there's still a gash there. So we don't want any leaks. So just finish up your aura repair with gold light. Make sure, just use your intuition to find the leaks. And use gold light to heal them up, repair them. All right, and then just redo your gold buffer zones. There's an 18-minute reference video on gold buffer zones that I will put in the comment section in the healing summary. There is going to be a healing summary within a day in the comment section, detailed healing summary with timestamp links, so you can use it to jump around if you wish. Creative ring repair, let's do it. So creative rings are 3 gold rings right above your head. They're part of your astral body energy system, so part of you is a spirit. They're very useful. They generate gold light and send it downward to your 7th chakra and the other chakras along your spine. So if you get aura damage, or sometimes if you just get a blast like through an energy cord, you can get a really big blast that can cause internal damage like chakra damage, energy channel damage, creative ring damage. But sometimes it's when your auras get whacked enough, ripped enough, that then the force of whatever someone's throwing at you can cause the internal damage. So like your creative rings can damage your chakras can damage. But sometimes your auras can be fine, and like I said, like through a cord or something, someone can get enough force in there to cause internal damage. Especially to the minor chakras. They damage more easily than the major chakras. But anyway, so that kind of internal damage, that's important to deal with. So that's what we're doing now. We'll do creative ring repair, and then we'll do chakra repair of all the major and minor chakras. So creative ring repair, that was just a blah, blah, blah of explaining internal damage. All right, fine. So now creative ring repair. Creative rings are right up here. They're part of your astral body energy system. So you just imagine a copy of them out in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 3 gold creative rings. And just use gold light to repair them and melt cords going into them and unblock them, so they can do their job and generate lots of gold light and send it downward to your major chakras. So repair with gold light so they grow back. The damage can look like cracks. It can look like big missing pieces, scratches, like you have scratches on the underside of the rings, or on the top side of the rings too. Of course, you could have scratches. So when you've relaxed your creative rings enough, the flaps close. And so here is an image of the flaps open. If you were looking down on your creative rings, this is the flaps being opened. This is like the top creative ring. The flaps are open because there are cords going in, and there's someone or several somethings are sending energy into the creative rings, and that doesn't work. And they're just supposed to generate energy. They're not supposed to receive energy from other people or beings. So when they do, they get irritated and the flaps open. So we don't want that. So just keep melting cords from people and beings and just let those flaps relax. And then they fall shut when they're relaxed. So then you don't notice them poking out like that. And for the invasive beings, you know, even if you melt the cords, they'll still like keep trying to bug you probably. So you just imagine any invasive beings like clouds, you know, and just say, angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings? And if you have a person, you know, your angels don't recycle people for you. If you have a person that keeps trying to connect to your creative rings, you can just imagine the people that do keep trying to connect to your creative rings and just say, hey, you know, karmically, that's not really good for you to do. And you could just ask your angels for help with boundaries so that you can have strong boundaries. You don't want to like threaten somebody or, you know, make them fearful. But reminding them that karma exists and that, you know, being kind and respectful to people is always in your best interest. That's okay to remind people, because people do tend to forget that when they get caught up in their own invasive behavior. And there tends to be a nice ripple effect. Like once the top creative ring flaps fully shut, then there's a big ripple effect of flaps closing and relaxing in the other creative rings and then in the major chakras. It's not perfect. Like if you have a chakra that's damaged, the flaps would still be open on that one. But then that's why we're going to do chakra repair now too. So that was creative ring repair. Creative ring unblocking, we didn't do a lot of it. We did some. I guess we could do more. Just sticky gold wax around your creative rings. Lift out all the junk. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax around your creative rings. Lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax all around your creative rings. Lift out the junk. Here you go. All right, so that was creative repair and unblocking. So now chakra repair and unblocking. Oh, right. So basic shape of any of your chakras is an open cylinder. So cylinder shape, round opening, round opening. Some chakras are smaller, some chakras are bigger, but that's the basic shape of them. And so you can make one composite copy. So one open cylinder that represents, and have it with your intention, have it represent all your major and minor chakras of your body and spirit. And then repair that. And that, by repairing that composite copy, then you're repairing and unblocking all your major and minor chakras. Minor chakras include all of these fabulous acupuncture points in your physical body, which are super cool. Okay, so one cylinder shape with your intention that represents all your major and minor chakras of your body and spirit, and then use lots of gold light to repair and unblock, and of course to melt energy cords going into the chakras from other people or beings. So melt cords, unblock, and repair. And just melt away energy blocks. They can be wrapped around the cylinder. They can be blocking the round openings. They could be inside that cylinder shape. The surface of each round opening, the round opening actually has a surface, and if it's healed properly and unblocked properly, then it's like a surface of water. Like, so if you tap it, there's like a nice ripple. But if you don't see a ripple, or if you only see a ripple on part of it, that's because the rest of it is just too blocked up and hard and crusty. So you can heal the surfaces of the round openings and unblock them enough so that you get a nice little ripple. So this is chakra repair and unblocking. And we've been doing just in general, but we can also do for the theme, our three-part theme. Non-resistance, letting angels help and guide you as much as possible, and surfing energy shifts, meaning, when energy changes, either within you or in the world outside, like nature or political movements or, you know, groups of people make a significant shift, it doesn't have to fluster you. If you clear your baggage about it, like your fear or, you know, your expectations or whatever. So go ahead, and now that we're healing all your major and minor chakras, that's a good, you know, because baggage can be in your aura, but a lot of it's in the chakras. So you can just lift that out. So go ahead and lift out any baggage that's in the way of the themes that's healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. So lift out that theme related baggage, and you can blow it up if you're healing yourself, or give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. If you're healing someone else, do not blow up their stuff. That's way too bossy. So lift out your theme related baggage from your chakras. Angels, here you go. Lift out theme related baggage from your chakras. Angels, here you go. Deep breath into all your major joints. Imagine your theme related baggage around your composite copy and just lift it out. Angels, here you go. All right, cool. So that was chakra repair and unblocking in general, and also for the theme. Good job. Woo woo. Let me fix my camera. It's a little better. Let me see. Maybe my camera's dirty. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably good enough. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. So that was our 4 essentials: grounding, aura repair, creative ring repair, chakra repair. So when you're not feeling right, do your 4 essentials. You can do freestyle version, do it fast, get it done. You know, like in a minute or two. Just train yourself so that you're really fast with it. You know, because like you can use your intuition. Do I need chakra repair? Yes, no. Do I need creative ring repair? Yes, no. Do I need aura repair? Yes, no. How's my grounding? Okay. Let's first do the stuff I said that we would repeat. So clearing family burdens, and then clearing DEBs so that you can, deep energy blocks, so that you can hear angels and do your stepping stone steps, next steps that your angels are suggesting. So let's, first we will clear family burdens. So I'm not going to explain it much. I explained it a lot in Less Healing. I explained it a little bit in the intro. It's just generational garbage that you got from either parent. That literally they have the same thing. Like you have a block in your left shoulder you got from your mom, and your mom's mom had the same block, and their mom's mom, because everyone keeps dumping it. And so you have the same one. And so let's clear it. Then it helps you, and it potentially helps other family members as well. So for example, if your mom gave it to you, she probably gave it to all your siblings, or just sometimes like just the oldest sibling gets blocks, certain blocks, but everybody gets some stuff, you know, like sometimes a certain block, all the kids will have it, or all the daughters, or all the sons, or whatever. So, okay, let's do it. Clearing family burdens. So just imagine a mini you, and we'll do it all at once. So just imagine, no, let's do one at a time first. Okay, so let's just imagine a mini you, and imagine some block that is like, you know, you got it from your dad, or you got it from your mom, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So just notice one, like maybe it's around your left hip, maybe it's, you know, on your back like a backpack, maybe it's around your neck, whatever. And just notice, okay, is it from your dad and his side of the family, or is it from your mom and her side of the family? And, yes, you may have two moms, you may have two dads. Forgive me, I don't mean to be overly biased. When I say mom and dad and you have two dads, just imagine your two dads. Okay, so that's just cute to like notice where you got it from and look at like, oh yeah, that's cool. They all have the same one. Or, my dad and my dad's dad, my dad's dad, they all have that block in their hips. Wow. But then what you're going to do is just heal yours. Don't get rid of theirs. So go ahead and whatever block you imagined, go ahead and surround it in gold light and lift it out and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And that's just from you. And then, you can say, angels, help my relatives. Just something like that. But basically, it could inspire them to work with their angels and heal themselves and release that block when they're ready. They may not be ready. Even though you're ready, they might not be, and that's okay. Okay, so now let's do a whole bunch of ones. So imagine a mini you, and imagine a bunch of family burdens that you have in your space that are from your mom or your dad in this life or past lives. Maybe you got them from an older sibling too, so a whole bunch of family burdens in your space that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. And just imagine them and surround them in gold light, and you're going to lift them all out. All the ones that are healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. Angels, here you go. And just give this little mini you a healing. Maybe a tricolor soak. Red earth energy, bring that up. Orange earth energy, soak that in. Yellow earth energy, soak that throughout your whole space. And then bring that down to just like a regular grounding. So give that little healing to this mini you. And again, just imagine family burdens in this mini you. Just a whole bunch of family burdens that are healthy and gentle to get rid of right now that you've gotten from your siblings or your parents in this life or past lives. And just imagine the ones that are good to get rid of all at once right now, and just surround them in gold light and lift them all out at once. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. And deep breaths. Give this little mini you a nice healing. And you could do a tricolor soak again. Red earth energy, bring that up. Soak in red earth energy, bring that down. Orange earth energy, bring that up. Soak in orange earth energy, bring that down. Yellow earth energy, bring that up. Soak in that. And you could leave that up if you want, or change it to whatever color of earth energy you prefer and leave that up. Or you could bring it down to the level of your grounding. And I suggest that grounding, you bring it up high to the level of your third chakra. So it goes up to here and goes all the way down to the core of the earth, so that it gives extra support to your lower chakras, so that it's easier for you to be present more fully. Okay, so that was a sped up version of clearing family burdens. Good job. You are a rock star. So now we will do stepping stones. We will clear DEBs so that you are more likely, so you're more able to step on these metaphorical stepping stones, which represents acting on angel suggested next steps. Because your angels can suggest, baby steps for you to move forward and make progress in any project you want. But sometimes you get so triggered and you can't do any of it, or you can do some and then you stop and get stuck. So if it's that paralyzing, it's probably a DEB, a deeply repressed energy block, or a whole bunch of them that got triggered. And so let's clear them so that you can take your next steps. You can do your stepping stones, right? So you can just imagine, I guess to trigger them, imagine your stepping stones, meaning they're from angels, the steps that you would take, the most approachable next steps to get you going in the best direction. Just to make stepping stones and just have them represent what your angels are trying to get you to do. And then see if the little mini you can go on these stepping stones and do them. And it's okay if you can't, because the whole point of this is to clear the problem. So whatever's keeping you from stepping on those stones and taking those actions, that's what we're going to clear now, right? So just put all that junk out in front of you. You could just stack it out in front of you like piles and then blow it up or melt it with gold light, or you could do like a safe bomb exploding chamber, like a big gold little cube, and put the baggage in there and blow it up with a remote control so it doesn't splash on you. But I'm just gonna melt the stuff, so you can do either way. So stack out in front of you any DEBs in the way of you taking these steps and doing these stepping stones, doing these angel neck steps. So put all the DEBs out in front of you, copies of them out in front of you, any DEBs, deep energy blocks that are in the way, and blow them up or melt them with gold light. And if they're not clearing, maybe just melt cords going into them. Sometimes people cord these and that makes it harder. So melt the cords and then melt the deep energy blocks. All right, so let's do more of that. So imagine those stepping stones that represent next baby steps, ideal baby steps that you could take on different projects that you have. And just see if the little mini you that you're imagining, which is you at this time, would you be able to take those next steps? And it's okay if you can't, because that's what we're working on clearing, is the baggage in the way of you taking those next steps. So go ahead, pile copies of all that baggage out in front of you and just say, angels, is it okay to clear all this? And then go ahead and blow it up or melt it with gold light. So this is the baggage in the way of you taking those next steps. We're gonna do more DEBs, but DEB clearing, but let's do unblocking and healing chakra filaments, unblocking and repairing chakra filaments, because I think that will help people to be more ready to do more of the DEBs clearing. So we'll call what we just did part 1 of DEBs clearing, so you can do your stepping stones. Now we'll do the unblocking and repairing chakra filaments, and then we'll go back and do more DEBs. Okay, so chakra filaments, they're just good cords. I call them filaments because people tend to have negative associations with cords. So you just imagine your major chakras separately, physical and astral body separately, because the cords that connect them, the filaments that connect them, that way it's easier to see the filaments when the chakras are separate. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your 7th chakras are oriented differently than 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6 through 1, round openings in the front and the back, all the way down, 6 through 1. 7th chakra, the round opening is in the top and then in the bottom there. So so just imagine 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there's a filament connecting, like say, 5th chakra astral with 5th chakra physical. That's 5th chakra filament. So just first repair all these filaments. I noticed a couple people actually had damage to their filaments, like considerable damage to their filaments, and it was causing a sleep disturbance for at least one person. Because it was easy for beings and people to cord the filaments if they're damaged. And then that just let a lot of weird energy flood in, so they woke up and couldn't go back to sleep. So go ahead and repair your chakra filaments. Melt cords going into them and repair them. So what does a filament look like if it's damaged? It can look just like like a hose that has a puncture in it, maybe in a couple places even. So just use lots of gold light through all your filaments to melt cords and repair them. And especially filaments for chakras 3, 2, and 1 would be most likely to affect sleep. They're all really important, but if you're specifically having sleep problems, maybe 3, 2, 1. Someone said their body was feeling too heavy. They said that in their survey, and their chakra filaments 4, 3, 2, 1 needed extra repair and unblocking. So it's good to do them all. Cover your bases. And while you're repairing, you can go ahead and unblock at the same time. So you just imagine, it's like a flowy tube with a flowy river inside, but it could be blocked. There could be like mud or rocks, in there. I mean, it's just energy blocks, but, So you melt away the blocked energy within these filaments. You can lift out the blocked energy and then melt it separately if that works better for you. Lift out the energy blocks out of the filaments and melt those blocks. And just keep repairing the filaments. So what do these filaments do? Well, they carry energy back and forth between your spirit chakras and your body chakras. So sometimes if your body is like weirdly tired, or your body just feels like, it's not working right, it's because there's blocks or damage here. So either weird foreign energy is coming in through that connection and affecting your body, or your spirit it's blocked. These connections are blocked, so your spirit isn't able to adjust and fine tune your body's energy just naturally through that flow, because the flow is blocked. And I often see, when speaking of blocks within these chakra filaments, I often see the blocks like right before the filament gets to the physical body chakra. Okay, so, and again, melt any cords going into these filaments from other people, other beings. All right, good. So that was chakra filaments, unblocking, repairing, melting cords. So now we'll go back and do part 2 of clearing DEBs so you can take your stepping stone steps. You can act on your angel suggested next steps. So go ahead, imagine some angel next steps that your angels are suggesting you to do, for you to do, and just imagine them like stepping stones, and see if a little mini you is able to currently step on those stepping stones and take those actions. And if not, maybe you're able to take one step, but not the second and third, or not the third, or none at all. And so that's why we're going to clear energy blocks in the way, because it could be just too triggering for you, and we don't want that, right? So just put out in front of you any any energy blocks, including DEBs, deeply repressed energy blocks that are in the way of you stepping on your stepping stones and acting on your angel advice. So put out your DEBs and either blow them up or melt them with gold light. And just keep putting out more DEBs in the way of you taking your stepping stones, taking action on your angel suggested next steps. Just put out your DEBs that are in the way, making it seem like impossibly hard. Just put those DEBs out there. Say, angels, is it okay for me to clear all this? And go ahead and blow it up or melt it away with gold light. And just keep putting more out there, more DEBs in the way of you acting on your angel advice and taking these next steps, stepping on these stepping stones. Just melt more DEBs in the way of that. All right. So if you had any that couldn't clear, you didn't clear them, just say, angels, can you help me with this? And you can even say to yourself, I'm going to let my angels help me take my next steps. And it doesn't have to be those precise words. You can put in your own words if you want. I mean, it's not like a spell or something. It's just reminding yourself, hey, I have angels. I can let them help me move forward. All right, good job. So that was part 2 of clearing DEBs so that you can step on your stepping stones, act on your angel advice that you're hearing either consciously or subconsciously. Okay, cool. So now we're going to do something that I did talk about briefly in the intro, well, wasn't that brief, I guess. It was that you can have energy that needs to transform, ideally, but it's not transforming. So, like, you can have a bunch of anger that's bottled up because you feel like, you're not supposed to be angry at daddy or something, or a bunch of grief or sadness that is bottled up and it's not going anywhere, it's not transforming, or a bunch of fear, a lot of fear that's just, it's not clearing. And, none of that's very fun, right? So let's go ahead and transform whatever of that energy you're ready to transform into just, regular energy of yours now, like productivity or rest or, sense of humor or, ability to do your hobbies or something. Okay, so we're going to transform. First, we're going to transform classically like fourth chakra stuff, like feeling lonely, abandoned, helpless, hopeless, blah, 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 blah. First, we'll transform some of that junk into just more usable energy. If it's still fourth chakra energy, then it would be like motivation and enthusiasm, which would be nice. And a sense of gratitude and comfort. And then we'll do some classically second chakra stuff, anger and sadness. So if you have too much of that, either subconsciously or consciously, will help you transform that into just whatever kind of energy you need right now. And then same thing with fear, classically first chakra blocks. If you have too much of that, will help you transform that. So yeah. So that was explaining. Now let's do it. So first, classically fourth chakra baggage, feeling lonely, feeling abandoned, feeling helpless, hopeless, betrayed, blah, 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 blah. All sorts of fun stuff like that, right? So just put all that garbage out in front of you. All your feelings of feeling helpless, hopeless, lonely, abandoned, whatever. Just blah, 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 blah. Lonely, it's unfair, life is unfair, blah, 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 blah. All that baggage, put that out in front of you. And, to the extent that you're ready to transform this stuff just into more enjoyable energy for you, say, angels, is it okay to transform all this? And they're going to be like, yeah, it's about time. And it could just look like piles, of baggage. And then just use gold light to transform it. You can melt cords from other people going into it also, because maybe somebody's trying to fix you, trying to make you feel better because you're triggering them. So just melt cords going into all this junk and melt it. It's just gonna transform into regular energy. It's not like it's gonna go away because it's your energy. It's just you don't need it stuck in loneliness or feeling abandoned or feeling like life is unfair. So let's do more of that. Fourth chakra, classically fourth chakra stuff. Put out in front of you any baggage or energy that's sort of locked into the state of feeling helpless, hopeless, lonely, or abandoned, or that life is unfair, or you're betrayed, or blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. And this is all the energy you're ready to have it be more enjoyable for you, and so just use lots of gold light. You can say, angels, help me transform this. Use lots of gold light. You can bring up like a green earth energy straight from the core of the earth and turn it and change it to a green color, because green is nice for fourth chakra. So green earth energy, that's cute, just for this baggage. And then lots of gold light. All right, cool. So if you have any leftovers, say angels help me transform this. Okay, so that was doing the classically fourth chakra stuff, transforming, updating your lonely, helpless, abandoned, betrayed, blah, blah, blah energy. So now we will do transforming anger and sadness. So we'll kind of bounce back and forth between anger and sadness, doing transforming those energies. So just make a big pile of a whole bunch of anger that you have consciously or subconsciously. Don't try to reason about it, because like it could be from a past life or something. I mean, you can use your intuition, but don't like get all confused and hyperanalyze it for 2 hours. But just put all the anger out in front of you that you're ready to get rid of. Just a whole bunch of anger blocks, blocked energy, stuck in anger, and melt away with gold light. You can bring up orange earth energy, soak it in orange earth energy, if that amuses you, and just extra gold light, and you can blow it up or melt it with gold light. You can say, angels, help me transform this. And some people are saying, like, they're telepathing about, like, well, but I'm still angry at this person. This person shouldn't have done that, blah, 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 blah. But this is for you. This isn't like a gift for them. It's for you. So this is the anger energy you are ready to transform. And it's for your benefit. And again, it's not saying any anger is bad. It's just that sometimes you can get an overabundance of it, and it's like, all right, enough. I'm totally wasting my energy. So you're transforming your blocked up, excessive anger energy. And again, you're the one that's determining what is excessive, what is, not appealing for you. And just use gold light, or blow it up. And again, you're not like destroying your own energy, you're just transforming it. And so then it'll be probably just more emotionally uplifting kind of energy after that. But still your energy. All right. So then your sadness energy, go ahead and put out copies of sadness baggage that you may have from this or past lives, conscious or subconscious. It could be other people's sadness too. And when you melt that, that's just gonna, they'll get it back. They'll get back their energy. Not as sadness, but they'll get back their energy. So, that might be interesting. You could make a pile of all your sadness that you're ready to transform, and the pile of all the sadness from other people that somehow wound up in your space. You can just blow that one up right away. This other people's sadness in your space. But then the sadness of yours that you're ready to transform, just, say, angels, help me do this. And this is just what's healthy and gentle for you to do right now, and just pile up that healthy and gentle amount of sadness that you're ready to transform, and just run gold light through it so that it turns into something that's not stuck. And deep breath into your body, into all your major joints. Deep breath into all your chakras, into your spine. All right, so that was transforming. First we did anger, transforming any anger you were ready to transform, and then we transformed sadness that you were ready to transform. Let's transform fear now. So put out in front of you just whatever healthy and gentle amount that you have of fear blocks that you want to get rid of. And so just put all that fear baggage out in front of you that you're ready to transform. Any energy tied up in fear and worry and anxiety. And just say, angels, is this too much? Is this good to transform all this at once? And they'll fix it if it's too much. And then go ahead and run gold light through it all. And melt cords from other people going into it, if there are any. And you can bring up red earth energy and soak it all in red earth energy. Fear is typically energy blocks in the first chakras or the first layer of the aura. But you don't have to worry about it. You just put it all out in front of you and melt it. And just let it transform into, probably what it's going to transform into is courage, safety energy, safety energy, abundance energy, because that's the healthy energy for your first chakra and your first layer. So again, put all the fear baggage out in front of you that you're just tired of. It's so unproductive. You're done with it. You want to transform it into something more useful. And just say, angels, help me do this. And just bring up red earth energy, soak it in red earth energy, and run gold light through it so you can transform it. Into something much more useful, like safety energy, courage energy, abundance energy. All right, good job. So we'll do a fourth one that I didn't really announce exactly. Grief. So sadness and grief are somewhat overlap, I guess. Sadness is specifically, when I talk about it, it's specifically second layer, second chakra blocks. Grief is a process. It's an experience when you lose something significant to you. Most commonly, it's, when like a pet passes away or a person passes away that you deeply care about, you feel grief. And grief can be many chakras and many aura layers, just kind of needing to release, needing to purge. And you can get stuck in grief very easily. Flow is really important for getting through grief much more easily. And when you when you feel grief very intensely or very painfully, your flow is blocked. You're not releasing properly. So a lot of people don't realize that, and they just think, well, grief is going to suck no matter what. Like people are like, it never goes away, and they think they're helping you by saying that. Yeah. So grief can go away, actually. I mean, you can still be sad from time to time, but a very gentle, light sad, then that's healthy. But if, the heavy, painful stuff never goes away, something's wrong with your flow and your energy system. Because it can release a lot of it. When it flows out of you, even if it's still flowing out of you, it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel that bad. I mean, it's a little weird, but not a lot weird, right? So let's clear built up grief that you have, because that's part of why grief can be so, people get so caught up in it because they have all the past grief that's left over that they didn't finish clearing from this life and past lives. So let's transform whatever grief energy is healthy and gentle for you to transform right now. And you would transform it into, the healthy versions of all those chakras and aura layers. So it could be some enthusiasm, some some tranquility, some, you know, serenity, some emotional stability, whatever, some courage. So anyway, just pile up in front of you all the grief energy that's healthy and gentle for you to transform right now of yours. And say, angels, is it okay for me to do this? Can you check it out? And then go ahead and use gold light and melt it. Run gold light through it to transform it into a more enjoyable, productive form of energy for you. And again, this is, you know, built up old grief energy that we're helping you to melt away or transform. And you may have cords going into your grief energy. People can get kind of invasive and, you know, feel bad for you, and then they cord to it. So just you can bring up red earth energy and soak your grief in red earth energy and gold light to melt the cords going into it, and then just keep using gold light to transform this grief energy into something that you would prefer. So let's do that one more time. Put all the grief energy out in front of you that is healthy and gentle to deal with right now, to transform right now. And just melt it away. Melt it, transform it with the gold light so that it becomes a more flowing, healthy, pleasant version of your energy. All right, great job. Yay. So that was transforming energy that's stuck and just not working for you anymore. And it could be energy that you're kind of even repressing, so you're pretending it's not even there. we transformed it. So we transformed a whole lot. Good job. So then we've done a lot so far. Oh, yeah, that could be interesting. Let's do a fifth one. Trust baggage. Let's do that. So I mentioned in the intro, you could have trust baggage that just gets in the way of your perception of situations because, you know, it's just hard for you to trust. You have this baggage from old traumatic situations that gets in the way of your discernment and your wisdom and your intuition of current situations. So that's totally unproductive. So just put all the trust baggage out in front of you that you have that is healthy and gentle for you to transform right now, and just run gold light through it so it turns into something more appealing for you, more useful. Typically, trust issues might be first chakra. Also, they could be fourth chakra baggage. So it might turn into like courage, safety, and abundance, which is the healthy first chakra energy, or it might turn into enthusiasm and gratitude, which is healthy fourth chakra energy. But you don't have to worry about it. Just put all your trust baggage out in front of you that is healthy and gentle to transform right now, and just say, angels, help me do this. And then just use lots of gold light. And you might have people cording into this, so just melt away the cords and melt this trust baggage. Transform it into whatever is healthier. The gold light will do that for you. Let's see that one more time. Put out in front of you any trust baggage that you have that is healthy and gentle to transform right now, and use lots of gold light. Melt the cords going into it. You can bring up red earth energy, soak it in the red earth energy. Lots of gold light to transform this trust baggage energy that you have. And you can say, angels, help me do this. And take a few deep breaths to help you adjust. Breathe into all your major joints, all your organs of your physical body. You know, we're going to do a 6th and 7th one. Keep thinking we're done with this particular, thing of transforming the energy. But I think we'll do the rest of the stuff this way too. Single mom baggage. Is the 6th thing we're going to transform into something else. Because normally we just like explode the baggage, but this might be nice to do it this way. It still clears and you get your energy back, but we'll see if this works. It's more pleasant. So put all your single mom baggage in front of you. I explained it in the intro. It's basically baggage from when you were a single mom, if you are a single mom now, or your fear about being a single mom. We've all had past lives where we were single moms. And some of us are currently single moms. So any baggage about being a single mom and how challenging and hard it is and painful and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So single mom baggage, or single parent baggage. Maybe you've been a single dad or something. So single parent baggage out in front of you that you have on any level from any lifetime. And say, angels, is this too much to clear right now? And your angels will make adjustments. And then go ahead and transform this energy into something that you might prefer. So just use gold light and just let the gold light do the changing. If you want, you can blow it up, and that's a way of transforming it. Or you can just use gold light. And go ahead and melt cords going into it, because people could be cording your single mom baggage or your single parent baggage. All right, good job. And then the baggage about possibly the last one of these that we're doing for this healing. We'll see. I always say that and it's not. Baggage or stuck energy that you have around disappointing people. And that could be on many chakra levels. I mean, the fear of disappointing people, that would be first chakra, first layer, but there could be baggage like you feel bad about it, and that would be fourth chakra, fourth layer. You feel like you're a failure if you disappoint others, that would be seventh chakra. So I mean, it's sort of splitting hairs, it can impact many chakras. So put out in front of you a healthy and gentle amount of disappointment baggage that you're ready to transform into something more appealing and useful for you. So whatever baggage you have that's healthy and gentle to clear right now or transform right now, about disappointing your mom or mothers or female authority figures or women in general, and you can separate the baggage out about disappointing your dad or men or male authority figures or male peers. You can separate them if you want, but you don't have to. So disappointing females, disappointing males, disappointing mom, disappointing dad. um, Disappointing sisters, disappointing brothers, and just say, angels, is it okay to transform all this right now? And they'll check it out, and then go ahead and use gold light and transform it all. And again, this is your baggage about disappointing other people. All right, so let's do that one more time. So any baggage that you have about disappointing anybody, really. Um, but then if you want to still single out disappointing baggage for disappointing mom, baggage about disappointing dad in this life or any life, fathers from any lifetime, and then just general disappointing anybody kind of baggage. And just say, angels, is it okay to transform all this? And then just go ahead and do it. Gold light. And you can put it all in one pile too. You don't have to separate it out. All right, so let's do a tricolor soak. So just reground, red grounding for starters. So a tricolor earth energy soak, just make a big red grounding all the way down to the core of the earth as high as your third chakra, and then use that grounding like a straw and bring up earth energy at a red vibration, up, and soak everything in the red earth energy. So clean out, help you release, help you receive. You don't have to move around while you do it. And then you can bring that down to the normal level of your grounding and then change it to orange grounding and then bring that up, orange earth energy up, and soak everything in the orange earth energy. And just breathe and remind yourself it's okay to receive, it's okay to let go. Deep breath. And then bring that down and change it to a yellow grounding, your favorite shade of yellow. And bring that up, and soak everything in yellow earth energy. Remind yourself it's okay to let go, it's okay to receive. And you can leave that up even. And I would call that an earth energy soak. And just, change it to red or orange or keep it at yellow, whichever feels better for you right now. If you don't want to leave it up, just bring it back down to the level of your grounding and change it to whichever grounding color you like, red or orange or yellow. All right, so as we wrap up, just say, angels, can you please give me a healing and help me with my non-resistance? Help me with surfing energy shifts. And of course your angels are going to help you. So just remind yourself that, I'm going to let my angels help me. All right. Good job. Good job. Woo, woo, woo. You did it. Yay. We did it. Lots of healing. All right. So, I will use a timer. Hopefully it helps. So, if you have any comments of what this healing was like for you, how you're feeling now, you can provide context if it's not obvious from your name, whether or not I healed you. Let me know if you just healed yourself or I healed you, or both. If you have questions about the theme, that's fine too. It's possible that I won't be able to get to all the comments. And if that happens to your comment, just repost it under this video or any other video. And I'll get to it when I have time. And I will post a reply under your video comment. Someone says, hi, Janet, and you're in Phoenix. Nice and cool here. Thank you for the healing of me and my spouse. You're welcome. Nice and cool. So, of course, I'm curious. What is nice and cool? How cool are we talking? Someone says, thanks so much for the healing, Janet. I especially liked avoidance work from this set. Yeah, we cleared blocks. I think that was in the first healing. We cleared blocks that you were avoiding. Yeah, first healing. And we also cleared energy blocks causing a pattern or habit of avoidance. And that was kind of unique to do both. And you say, am I still avoiding a ton of stuff, or am I clearing pretty consistently? Yeah, I think it's working. You're there. I don't see like a pocket of energy that you're still avoiding. That is working. Everybody has like stuff that's less comfortable and more challenging to clear, just because of, whatever. But yeah, it's working. You can keep going with it. You saying, I also felt like my old boss, and you mentioned his initials, was in my space messing with me on Sunday. Was that accurate? Yeah, you mentioned that on your survey, and I looked at it when you mentioned it on your survey. He was in your space, but it looked like your mom actually did the initial damage, and broke down the door, and then he sort of walked in through the door. So it didn't look like he did the actual destruction. He just sort of made trouble afterwards. But it looked like your mom did a couple high-powered blasts in the back, and so your creative rings got whacked, your auras got damaged in the back, and your shoulder energy channels blew out. The chakras in those shoulder energy channels got damaged. So again, 4 essentials, just redo them when you need to, and that'll fix you up again. Yeah. Someone says camera was a bit blurry. It is clear now. Oh, good. Thanks. Yeah, maybe it was just, sometimes I accidentally touch it with my fingers as I'm like putting it on. I try not to, but someone says, thank you so much, Shanna. I am adjusting to being back from Taiwan. Yes, welcome back. I'm glad you got back safely. A lot better than other times. Haha, good. How am I on my spiritual path? Angel said just be last week. No baby steps, really. Also, how did my aunt do? Sometimes just being is a baby step, just that allowing yourself to just exist and not, if you just exist and just be, it is a healthy thing. It's a strong thing. If that's what you need at that time, it's nice. But you are moving forward on your path. There is like I think the non-resistance is working for you. It's like just sort of less is more kind of idea. The clearing family burdens, you could keep doing that. You would think it's more necessary like on your mom's side of the family, but it's both sides of the family. So you can just keep working clearing family burdens. Your angels are just mentioning that as an especially valuable thing from this set for you. Your aunt, yeah, good question. How did she do with the healing? Um, the filaments work was especially needed for her, chakra filaments. All the four essentials work was, really what she needed. She had, just epic amounts of damage for so long. Um, but her creative rings are actually not damaged right now. Her chakras are not damaged. She has some minor chakra damage just because there was so much damage. It's like healthy and gentle amount. The body can only shift so much at once and, gently. So she still has some minor chakra damage, but she says she's going to work more with her angels like over time to keep repairing. So you could now and then check to see if she's still working with her angels, and she's letting her angels repair her chakras. Um, but yeah, she does say the healing was gentle enough for her, so that's very cool. I'm glad. So she didn't take like bold giant steps forward, because she was just so damaged. But a lot got repaired. Her auras look pretty good. Like she still has maybe half her Wei Chi auras have significant damage, but they were just so damaged before. And again, there's that healthy and gentle pacing. So very interesting. So if you want to get another healing at some point, that would be great. But you could just, if you'd rather not spend the money, you could just keep reminding her to work with her angels. She seems to like the idea. She just needs reminders, telepathically. All right. Somebody says, how did I and my spouse do? Thanks for the healing. The clearing family burdens was the family favorite for you and your husband, you and your wife. Um, the transforming energy, your wife did seem to like that quite a bit. She says that was her favorite thing of the whole set because she's not really a big fan of blowing up things, and she did have a lot of energy just sort of stored away. And so the way I talked about it, rather than clearing this baggage, she kind of liked that energy of, well, it's packed away, and you it would be better if it was a different kind of energy. So that kind of worked more for her, like mentally. So she cleared like twice as much just because thinking about what it would transform to kind of motivated her. So that's interesting. Um, you did well. I think it was all really in line with what you're most interested in, you know, in this set. So it was a really good theme for you. Um, you could keep clearing debs in the way of you doing your stepping stones. Not that you're not letting angels help you, but I think, you can always do more with that. So that would be a nice one for you to work a little more on. I mean, obviously you're going to work more on clearing family burdens. I don't have to tell you that because that's like your jam. But but yeah, also the uh, the clearing debs, clearing energy blocks in the way of you doing the angels stepping stone, next steps. Add that into. Okay, cool. So you guys did great. So this is, how do you suggest doing self-healing when in public around people? I don't have intuitive seeing yet. I visualize my hand sending gold light over my all. Yeah, that works. Uh, What I would say is just stay present, because sometimes when you're visualizing, the gold light healing yourself, you kind of leave your physical body, and then you're like in the back combing through things in the back of your physical aura. You're out of body, giving yourself a healing, giving your body space a healing, which would be nice if you were at home in some energy space that you regulate and are in charge of, and it's you know very nice, and there's no people staring at you at the time, and you're not, but if you're in a public space, try to stay in your body. So I would just add more leg work into it, like unblock your legs more, because that'll make it more likely that it's a very comfortable experience being present, and so in your body, so then you're just more likely to stay in your body. And you can maybe use that copy out in front of you, and imagine the copy, and imagine your hands doing the copy. Because I think that keeps you more in your body if you use that copy out in front of you. Or you could use gold suns, or gold fire, and just have 100 gold suns all around you, and just have that going, and just focus on like your non-resistance, so that the gold suns shining on you are more effective. So then you just kind of imagine, okay, I'm going to let go, I'm going to flow, I'm going to be the flow. Don't be the suck energy, be the flow. And so that way, as you're letting the gold suns do the work, you're more likely to be more present. So I hope that helps. Someone says, thank you for healing. I went outside as I followed along. I felt the blockage on the right side of my face and saw them on my mom and sister. Oh, as far as family burdens, yeah. Any advice on family burdens I may have passed to my kids? I one day hope to heal them with their angels, like when you heal us. I don't know if this is a past life. Thank you for this triplet set. Yeah, I mean, it is possible for a mom to heal one of their kids. I would say one at a time. If you do group healings, like literally like I'm doing, you open yourself up to a lot of boundary issues with very large planetary control beings that watch that kind of stuff. And they're very aggressive and invasive. And so you have to, it's like a whole different ballgame. So I would always recommend, even for pro people, unless you're ready to be a group healer, don't be a group healer. So one at a time, heal somebody one at a time. You could, even if there was a pro and they were leading a guided meditation of, 40 people, if you lead a guided meditation, then they're healing themselves. That's not a group healing. And then if, one at a time, you decided to help somebody with their grounding, and so you help that one person with their grounding, and then you're still leading the meditation, and then, a minute later, you help a different person with their shoulder blockage. That's one at a time healing. You're not healing everybody at once. They're healing themselves all at once. You're just doing one at a time, and or a walkthrough, which is not, sending them energy. So, but as a just a mom, non-pro, again, one at a time healing, because I've worked with clients who they hear that all the time, that I say that, and then they're like, well, whatever, I'll just heal my two kids at the same time as I heal myself. I'll do group healing. And then they're like, they get all this heat from the invasive energy from very, very large beings, and they're like, I don't know why, I just can't see anymore. So yeah, if you were, once you get present enough, and you're almost there now, one kid at a time. If you heal one kid at a time, not like yourself and the kid at the same time, just heal one kid, heal yourself and then heal one kid and then heal another kid. That's fine. You won't get any extra. I mean, you'll get the boundary issues of like if there's a being in that kid that you're healing, the being will come at you, which is why you heal yourself first and make sure you got your act together first. But other than that, you won't get like big planetary giant beings coming at you just from healing one kid at a time. I mean, even now you could unblock grounding for one kid at a time. you're present enough for that. Because once you meditate, I mean, you can tell, but sometimes after a meditation, if somehow you miss something, you're only in 7 through 3. But if you had what you would feel is a good meditation, then you're in 7 through 2. You're present in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So that's present enough to, like, just imagine one of your kids and just imagine they're grounding and run gold light through their grounding. Just make sure it's universal gold light with your intention. So it's not your life force. It's just universal gold energy that you're generating, and unclog that one kid's grounding. You say, angels, help me with boundaries, and just imagine they're grounding. And if you were to ever do that with an adult, like say your husband, I would wait on that, practice on your one kid at a time first for like a week or two. And then you could, just because your husband's going to have nastier beings in his space than one of your kids. So it's good to get better at it first and get used to that. But then, but if it's not a young child of yours that you're healing, like if, say, it's your husband, you need to ask his consent first, telepathically. So you just say, hey, do you want me to unblock your grounding? It might help you have a better day. And he says, sure, fine. Just don't ask me how I'm feeling later, and then, and then you would do it. But that's later when you're feeling a little more experienced. But again, one at a time. Someone says, hi, Janet, just joined. I forgot to mention in the survey that I had issues sleeping, which is typically not an issue for me. I'm wondering if there were a lot of weird astrological shifts this past Friday. I don't think that's what was affecting you. I think you did have some damage to your chakra filaments, kind of like what I mentioned in the live stream. I was talking about that. Sometimes if you have damage to your chakra filaments, it's easier for beings or people to cord there and send energy. And that's a very inner place to have foreign energy. And so it can wire you and make it hard for you to go back to sleep or go to sleep. I mean, obviously, the classic example of not being able to sleep well is your Kundalini energy keeps, you haven't turned off your Kundalini energy for sleep. And so that's going up your spine, but that wasn't the case with you. I think it was damaged chakra filaments. So I guess hopefully now it should be fine, but you could unblock a little extra chakra filaments, 3, 2, and 1. But it looks like the healing fixed the damage. Another classic example of sleep issues is somebody's in your space, like on the astral, like you meet with a family member who's arguing with you and they get in your face, like on the astral, and then that's really unsettling, and then you wake up all flustered and triggered. So I think there was a little bit of that too. So you can just say, with your angel, I'm going to let my angels, help me, so that because it's possible that it's not really a good idea to meet with a certain family member or a certain person that on the astral, because they're just not in a good headspace. And why get into an argument when you're supposed to be sleeping and enjoying your astral time? So, I think that's part of it, that you're meeting with family members on the astral that are not really being very respectful, and your angels wish that you would skip that. All right, that helps. Smith says, hi, Janet, how am I doing? I'm being in all my chakras. You're doing very well. You are in all your chakras at the moment. I am working on increasing my upper chakra abilities so I can better heal and read myself. Good for you. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, you're doing well. You could do more with, like, when you imagine your chakra filaments, make them really big so you can see like little issues, like little blockages. So you could unblock just a touch more the first chakra filament, and also 7th to 8th connection. That could be a nice one to work on unblocking. The gold connection between your 7th chakra and your 8th chakra. You can work on unblocking that. And melting cords from that. Sometimes you have family members cording there. All right. Someone says, hello, new here. Well, hello to you. Hello, hello. I do these group healings, live streams, 5 times a month. There's this set of 3 healings, which I just finished today. And then there's a set of 2 healings later in the month, which I call a twin set. And the whole schedule for all of 2023 is on my website, janetwrightreadings.com. You could purchase one of the healing sets, and then you'd be one of the people I'm actually healing at the time, or you could just watch and heal yourself, and I'm not healing you, which is fine too. And that's, of course, free. Someone says, I needed the filament healing since I had damage and I've had sleep issues. Yes. Yeah. And I love transforming the energy. Oh, interesting. I mean, transforming feelings and trust baggage into fresh, productive energy. Oh, good. I'm glad that worked for you. It's interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that was different for people than just blowing it up. Someone's mentioning their initials. Thank you very much. Thank you for helping us, Janet. I was raised by a single mom. My dad, you're mentioning his initials, are in spirit form now. Yeah, he's in heaven. Do I have any baggage from him? Maybe he has anything to say to me at this time. Well, he's very triggered. I mean, he's not very triggered, but he's very passionate about current events in your life, you know, larger political events around you. He's very strongly opinionated about it all, as you would imagine. So he's not stuck about it, but he's very strongly passionate about it. Anyway, do you have any baggage from him? I mean, sure, you know, we all have. Yeah, you could keep clearing family baggage from him. I guess you're asking because he didn't raise you, so you're like, that would be surprising to you. But a lot of that you get at conception, the family baggage. You get it right at conception, and you know he was around for that. So yeah. So yeah, you did get just as much family baggage from him as you would have if he was a person who stuck around and raised you. But I mean, you did clear a bunch today, and 2 days ago when we did it too. So you know, nothing to worry about. But just yeah, keep doing it. Someone says, "Thank you, Janet, hubby." And I guess also your father in heaven, your biological father in heaven. I mean, he says he's proud of you. He doesn't think it's an accident that you are where you are, like geographically in the world right now, and he feels like it's a test for you to be strong and to be non-resistant and to sort of not match the all the stuck energy around you. Um, and he thinks you're doing really great with it. So. Someone says, thank you, Janet. Hubby has been weak health-wise and under pressure to sell one of his creations. What's going on with him? He also got the healing, of course. Mm. Yeah, he's having significant boundary issues with that. I guess there's somebody suing him, and it looks like a specific person that is suing him, and that person's like kind of really at his throat. Um, you know, it's interesting because sometimes I see this as a more invasive way for somebody to mess with somebody else. I never recommend that you would actually, that anyone hearing me would be like, oh, good, I'm going to do that to someone I hate, because karma is such a excuse the expression, but karma's a bitch. Like, if you willfully do something negative to somebody else, like, God help you, man, because you know, whatever. So don't do this, but people are doing it anyway, so it's good to know about defensively. You know, people can cord, not everyone does this though. This is one of those trickier things that someone can do to mess up somebody else, is cord your inner wounds. So you imagine like your inner wounds like slashes out in front of you, and you imagine if there are any cords from other people going into your inner wounds, and then you melt those cords and then you heal the inner wounds. And again, you just imagine any inner wounds that, you know, that you have within you, like slashes out in front of you that people are corded to, and then you just melt those cords and then you melt those wounds. And I just did that for your husband, because he got the healing today, so it's easy for me to do. But yeah, that guy, that's the person that's suing him, was courting the inner wounds that he had, and that's how he got so in there and was like in his face and his throat. So so yeah, I just reminded him that he can have his angels help him with boundaries with that person. So he's gonna do that. I think he's just surprised by the intensity of that person, and so he was kind of like a deer in the headlights, kind of stuck in shock, rather than just asking his angels for protection. So all that intensity, it tends to blow out a lot of his minor chakras, which are all the body meridians. So, you know, if you notice again, I mean, right now that person's all the way out because I just, you know, melted the cords going into the inner wounds and I healed the inner wounds. Which you could do. I mean, you're a very advanced healer. So heal yourself first. Do that same process with yourself first. And then you could do that for him with his telepathic consent. But then, you know, and again, since you're so advanced, you could also, once you do it for yourself first, repair all your major and minor chakras again. Then go ahead, you could repair his major and minor chakras again with his consent. Just because his minor chakras keep blowing out with the force of the energy coming in through the cords. So yeah, that's what's going on. It's just a particularly crafty way to be invasive that person's doing, and it was kind of getting him stuck in shock rather than letting his angels protect him. So I hope that helps. So it says, hi Janet, thanks for the healing. How am I looking? You're looking great. You're in all your chakras. You could imagine your spiritual path, and there are a couple invasive beings on your path just blasting you with energy. And so it kind of feels very like in your face, like you're being sandblasted. So just imagine your path, any beings that are on your path blasting you with energy, and just get them recycled. You're saying, I am having trouble connecting to my own intuition on the dog thing, among others. I keep trying to heal different areas, but they keep ending up confused. Thanks. Yeah, you mentioned that in your survey, and so I read it when I was reading your survey. Yeah, that's your inner child. Do you have different parts of your inner child that are like throwing a fit? Because your angels and other parts of you are like, this isn't the best time for me, you know, for the dog thing, and then the stuck inner child parts of you are like, wow, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I've been through so much of my life. Why can't I just? So, yeah, just doing a bunch of inner child healing of the parts of you that are stuck around, you know, pet questions. And then to heal parts of you that are stuck about your love life. And about, you know, that you're not married right now. You know, any part of you that's stuck about your love life. Just imagine that part of you and give that part of you a healing, because your love life baggage is getting superimposed into the pet stuff. You're trying to use pets as a substitute for a love life. And so that is like confusing your discernment. So I hope that helps. So yeah, so heal inner child parts of you that are stuck about pet stuff, and heal any part of you that's stuck about love life stuff. Oh, right. I hope that helps. Someone says, thank you for the healing, Janet. You are welcome. Someone says, I feel my heart chakra area was badly damaged until today's healing. I think I felt wax hard hits in my heart area for about 2 weeks. I don't know why, but now post-healing, I feel a bit better. Well, I'm glad you do. Yeah, what happens is if you have baggage in a certain layer, someone can cord that and send a lot of energy through that piece of energy and then blast into that chakra. So like, you know, here's Akudal, right? Akudal has some fourth chakra baggage right here. She's like, boo-hoo. This baggage says like, woohoo, being single sucks. And then someone that's pissed at her, like her sister, say, is cording, sending a cord into this big flat hard piece of energy, because that's easy to do if it's a big flat hard piece of energy, and sending a blast of energy like once an hour into that, and then that blast of energy has to go somewhere, and since it's already in the fourth layer, it's easy for it to go right into the fourth chakra and blow up the fourth chakra. So it's not really funny, but it seems funny when you do it with a doll. So yeah, so that's what's been happening. Also, your CV meridian that goes right up the midline, that's the chakras in there have been getting blown out with those fourth chakra blasts as well. So bottom line, keep unblocking your fourth layer. I mean, unblock all layers, but it seems like your fourth layer is kind of where that person is especially aware of. And so keep unblocking your fourth layer so they can't blast through into your fourth chakra and your CV meridian so easily. And then, you know, you can just do targeted repair of your CV meridian and your fourth chakra. I think it's the CV meridian chakras. There's some in there that could use work. So you could just, you know, they're a little extra blocked, and they're not damaged anymore, but they are still a little blocked. So just do your CV meridian chakras, just all those, only those at once, and do those. And then, you know, keep on blocking the front of your fourth layer, because you don't need like big panels there that say, whack me here, whack me here. Because that's what energy blocks pretty much say to people. I mean, you know, not to everybody, but to people that are looking for that kind of thing. Someone says, it is a nice 65-degree day. Oh, how nice in Phoenix, Arizona, and sun is out and perfect weather. Rock and roll. Wouldn't that be nice? No wonder people go there for the winters. Of course, it's going to be like 110 in the summertime, right? Alrighty, someone says, thanks, Janet. I appreciate it. You're welcome. Someone says, thank you. I followed along and healed myself. Yes, good. Enjoyed seeing the weird old baggage and melting it. Anything I can do to move more efficiently on my spiritual path? Yeah, you know, I noticed you could do more. You know how we did that transforming stuff? Do more of that with the loneliness and the trust issues. Just keep melting old loneliness baggage and old trust issues back, or transform it, you know, trust issues and loneliness, and just keep doing that. Because it's like there are some steps that your angels want you to take, and that particular baggage keeps holding you back. So I hope that helps. All right, somebody says, hi, Janet. For the past 3 weeks, I have been unable to clear energy blocks about financial worries. Is there something my angels want me to learn? I think what you mean is you have been clearing energy blocks, but you still have your financial worries because you have been clearing. So the question is, why are the financial worries persisting? Oh, I think what you mean is you still have money problems. You haven't fixed your abundance issues. I see. I'm reading the actual question behind the actual question. Um, I think, what I just told that other lady as far as fourth chakra baggage and how it blasts through and stuff, that applies to you, but with the first chakra, first layer stuff. So you have first layer stuff, and your mom tends to cord it and blast through to it and blast your first chakra and blow up your first chakra, which also blows up your Kundalini chakra, which also blows up like the early part of your CV meridian and the chakras within your CV meridian, the lower ones. And sometimes it even blows up your second chakra. Sometimes it even blasts up all your tummy meridian chakras, these meridians as they go around here. So, your mom has really good, destructive skills, which is so bad for her karma, man. God knows what she's going to have to do in future lives to make up for all the destruction. Yeah. But anyway, whatever. Yeah, it's not that you have to go through this. I mean, you had to get strong in these areas, which is why you picked that mom. But as far as are you supposed to be where you are geographically and also have money issues? No. No. So yeah, I think it's just, do tummy meridian. You can just repair all the chakras of your tummy meridians all at once, and then repair your first and second chakra, and unblock your first layer more. I don't think there's any. I mean, sometimes you have beings in the way of all that, but I don't think in this case you do. I just don't think you were realizing what was going on. But yeah, it's like right now you just need tummy meridian chakra repair. Well, no, they got repaired. They're just blocked. So unblock your chakras of your tummy meridians, and then and if someone doesn't, I mean, but somebody hearing that might not realize that I do have videos where we did that for 10 minutes, tummy meridian work. So if you search Janet Wright tummy meridian, at least sometimes I put it in the title. So if you search Janet Wright tummy meridians with an S, with an S at the end, Janet Wright tummy meridians, it should come up. And yeah, if you need a walkthrough, which you probably don't, but you might like it. So anyway, try turtle exercise also, because for people that don't know, you would search Janet Wright turtle exercise, turtle like the animal, because there's a level of networking, you happen to be at the right place at the right time and somebody mentions it, or you see the right flyer in the right place, and to find out about a certain job option, or somebody contacts you for sessions or whatever, and so there's a level of social interaction that you get a little rigid because you have such a punishing mom, that you tend to be like, cut it out, and that energy is at the edge of your aura going stop. And that's not good because that's not a communication only for your mom. You know, that just like holds off good stuff, good social interaction with decent people who are not your mom. And so, you know, you can clear off the edge of your aura, you know, all that like just resistance and go away screaming kind of defensive scream stuff that you're doing, you know, that you're really meaning for your mom, which wouldn't help your mom situation anyway. But, you know, just like your seventh layer too, because that's first impression, is your seventh layer of your aura. That's what people feel or sense first, even just on a subconscious spirit level. So clear out your seventh layer and just outside of your seventh layer and just clear out all that, you know, like go away or stop it out, cut it out, you know, kind of energy that you have there. And then turtle exercise is a video that would build on that kind of idea that helps you to clear your inner baggage that is pushing away positive social interactions. So if that makes sense. That's sort of the idea. You need, you know, other than, you know, repairing from your mom's blasts coming in through your first layer, and unblocking your first layer and, you know, all that, the rest would be just, you know, positive social interactions and getting rid of whatever blocking that you're accidentally doing on that. Someone's saying, just saying hi. Couldn't follow along today, but wanted to thank you for the healing. You are welcome. I think you will enjoy part of the theme, especially that we did today. Someone says, notice that I snack after healings. Is that because my grounding is stuck? No. I think your body is looking for some kind of a, you know, a validation afterwards. You could plan what is a healthy snack for afterwards, you know, like maybe some, you know, like a little mini kind of egg and rice or something, or, you know, something that's just healthy and stabilizing. So it just seems like, I think it's because of the time of day that the healing is for you. It just, your body is just needs, it's like gives your body a little bit of closure and it syncs up your spirit and your body a little bit better afterwards. So yeah, you could just plan like a healthy snack afterwards. As far as doing it with no snack, maybe just yeah, maybe just seventh, third, and first chakra. Seventh, third, and first chakra. Just a little bit extra on those chakras and those filaments, just to, you know, help your body and your spirit sync up as well as possible. Maybe, yeah. Yeah. Oh, hope that helps. So this is, hi Janet, the healing felt good. Oh good. I feel a big pressure relief on my sacrum, which I have been working on for a while. Oh, that's nice. Someone says, thanks for the message. You're awesome, Janet. Thank you. You're welcome. Someone says, thank you. You're welcome. Okie doke. Someone says, okay, thanks. Okie dokie. You're amazing. Go, go, go. I hope you're enjoying fall so far. We are approaching the winter solstice, the shortest daylight day of the year. And so there's that. It'll be nice to be on the other side of that, where the daylight gets longer and longer every day. But either way, I have my light therapy lamp. I'm good. Oh, somebody asked. I somehow didn't get to that question. I don't know why I missed it. Oh, he must have gotten rid of it. Yeah, he must have gotten rid of it, so I won't answer it. But somebody asked a question about lighting. All right, you guys are amazing and totally cool. So I will film the animals at the end in case you care, just for a minute. So that, you know, somehow the light it keeps turning weird colors. I think it's because of this particular sweater. I don't know what's the deal with that. This hoodie. But anyway, sorry about the weird lighting. All right, here come the dogs. Fun with dogs. Come on, Daisy girl. There you go, Daisy, don't be jealous. There you go, good girl. Come down. All right, good job. Oh, good girl. There we go, good job. Alrighty, so you can see Daisy has a little fashionable onesie there. And that's Abel ignoring me. Abel! Abel! It's because he doesn't want to go out right now. Because it's rainy and cold. All right, well, I hope you're happy and safe wherever you are. Take care.